Hello, welcome back to Let's Build the belated 500 subs. Well, I can't say it's really belated yet if it's 500. Belated 200 upcoming 500 subscriber special, I guess. Alright, so I don't quite have the energy today to go through all the stuff. As I was looking, and I think this is the only file I have. And I could go through it, but it's not. This is from the old 200 belated 200 subscriber special, and I just don't feel like trying to dig. Like, is it actually? Oh, it can't be. Maybe it is. Oh. Still, I'm exhausted. I don't feel like transcribing everything from that list since the airfields we have on here. So today is going to be more of a shorter episode, more for me to relax while still doing some things. So, for example, okay, our date is 2035. I think I did this already, South China Sea. Did I end up keeping the, Ooh, I did. Ooh. Okay. That's gonna change. I think what I'm going to do is delete. First off, let me open one of these and see what their air wing is. Aircraft. Mouse 1 and 2. Okay, we'll reuse that one. But I'm going to delete these because I don't think they'll be in their like intended design. I don't think they'd be able to keep up with the 30 knot minimum for a carrier battle group. But lately there's been a Constellation class program is running into basically all the same fucking problems that excuse me, that wow, I do not have a train of thought today. It's completely derailed. The cars are on fire, people are screaming. This is why I'm not going through all those other things. So basically, I suppose I didn't. Did I ever do the sensor and weapon loadouts? I don't think I did. No, because that's way too many tomahawks. Okay. No, I needed to keep you up. But anyways, so I've been doing some reading on the Constellation class program, and they had a max speed of 28 knots. I think I discussed that already. I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but a recent report came out detailing how it's basically running into all the same damn problems that the LCS program ran into. Oh, that's Norway. I'm like, ooh. But no. What? Okay, what's going on with our aircraft here? Oh, it kept Dog 1 and Dog 2. Okay. Well, we can remove. Or do we have to go? I deleted the goddamn. Come on. Anyways, so I've been reading about it, and it's a disaster, and it's like making all the same mistakes that the LCS program did. Like, they started building the ship before the design was finalized, and they're like, oh yeah, there'll be no problems with that. Oh, guess what? There were problems with that. Wouldn't you believe it? Anyways, apparently it's also overweight already, even though only 3% of the ship has been built. And they're possibly going to reduce the speed even further, so it's just not. So I would expect probably maybe 26 knots or lower from what they're saying, maybe even lower than that. Which, I mean, for convoy escort isn't the worst thing, but it just will be completely unable to operate with our battle group, which I don't think we have a new database yet. Editor. V505, our current is V5. Yeah, we're on the same. No new updates, which I'm kind of putting off modifying the units to see if maybe we get one more update in there. But basically it's a disaster, which it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be easy, because they were basically just taking, I believe, the ASW version of the Frem frigate and Americanizing it. So like the composite mast would be replaced with a standard American steel mast with all our sensors and combat management systems and stuff. And they're going to throw in a VLS mostly for like, the Rum 5? Or sorry, the Rum 139, which is basically a rocket that carries a torpedo out to range. They're going to replace the European torpedoes with US torpedoes. The Mark 41s would have carried that and like some self-defense missiles, like evolved sea barrel missiles. Maybe some standard series missiles, but only the smaller ones most likely. Like, it wasn't going to be doing ballistic missile defense or anything like that, I don't think. But yeah, it was basically just, okay, they got kind of the hull already worked up, so let's just do a system swap and that'll be our design. That's what it was supposed to be. And somehow I know there's more to it than that, obviously. Like, you got to make the stuff fit and adjust for weights and balance and all that, and that's just what I can think of off the top of my head as a layman who knows nothing about shipbuilding. But what was supposed to be an easy, semi off the shelf solution that was chosen to avoid cost and weight overruns and delays with like a new build program has now done all those things. And it pisses me off. I don't know how much is the Navy's fault, and I don't know how much is the contractor's fault. Obviously, both are blaming each other, so probably both are true, or it's something in the middle. But yeah, so we're pulling the Constellations out, and I will replace them with one more Burke, which brings us up to 6. So this is a hell of a fortified battle group, but it is what it is. Eventually, I'll probably change up that formation too, but I still gotta give them names and stuff. So that'll be the. I added 5 submarine. Well, it'll be nice to have more Tomahawks to play with, I guess. I see what I did here. It's been so long since we worked on the American side, so I got 3 kind of escorting the battle group and another 2 screening ahead of it, which I'll probably keep. Because I did add like a ridiculous number of Chinese submarines. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And I think the majority of those are diesels too. So, all right. So, all right. So. It is the year 2035, in the face of aggression from China, the US has decided to send a reinforced carrier strike group through the Taiwan Strait as part of a freedom of navigation exercise meant to show strength and support for their Taiwanese ally. All right. Actually, that's probably going to be in the briefing for the U.S. eventually. Actually, just going to copy that. I forget. I'd have to look it up and see if I actually made this, because I don't think this lines up with an election year in Taiwan. So I might change the year by one, hopefully, and hopefully it won't mess up the satellites. But I really don't want to mess up the satellites. We'll call it 2035 and say it's 2036 or whatever. Probably is what it will end up being. Just so I don't have to do that all again. Let's see. I think I did this already. Yep. All right, so then for the briefing, which somehow I managed to keep losing. There we go. In the event of hostile actions from China, you are to take all necessary precautions to ensure the safety of the carrier group, even if it means retreating back towards the Philippines. There we go. So I'll add a little bit of flavor. I think the weather we've already gone through. I could put down mines, but I'm not really gonna mess with those. I mean, if we were in, first of all, we're never going to get anywhere near here. Mines are really, the ocean is so vast. The value really is in restricting access to small constricted areas. So back in the Vietnam War, we would mine, which harbor was it? We would drop mines in front of, I think, Haiphong, the Haiphong harbor. That was one of the missions. Is A6s and other aircraft would mine the harbor to keep ships from delivering supplies to North Vietnam, because at the time, you look at where their borders are, Russia only has three options. They could do a direct flight, which obviously airplanes have limited cargo space and stuff. They're expensive, and you need the cooperation of all the countries. So all these would have been Soviet, except Mongolia, but they still would have needed China's permission to fly over their airspace, which, given some of the border tensions between China and the Soviet Union at the time, that might not have been feasible. They could do it over land, but then you kind of run into the same issues in that you still have to go through Chinese territory, and so you still need their permission. Or you take it through shipping, and so that's what we did. Was we dropped mines from aircraft to mine the harbor, so that way shipping couldn't get in there safely. You see it again in Ukraine, where the Ukrainians deployed mines around their harbors to protect them once the war started, so that way Russia couldn't launch an amphibious assault. But then Russia also released mines into the Black Sea, which there the problem is, because it's such a large area, the mines just kind of disperse, and so they're just a random hazard to navigation at that point. But that's really their value, or restricting access to to a straight. Like maybe like Iran here could potentially mine this area fairly rapidly, and basically cut off all access to the what is this? It's not the Red Sea, because I think this is the Red Sea, right? Yeah, that's the Red Sea. Persian Gulf, that's what it is, right? So they could theoretically cut off all access to the Persian Gulf here, and demining this would be a bitch because you're within range of a bunch of land-based cruise missile batteries, within range of land-based aircraft. They obviously have their Navy out here, and then they could throw ballistic missiles there too. Not that they're anyone's problem. I would think no one's going to waste an anti-ship ballistic missile on a simple minesweeper, but hey, you never know. So that is the reason why I'm not using mines in this scenario, because really the best place for them would probably be here, but to cover, what is that, about, you figure 40 nautical miles is the likely transit area of the carrier, and to quickly put those down, cover that area, but also somehow divert all civilian shipping without arousing suspicion ahead of the carrier coming through, not gonna happen. So maybe in a different scenario we can play with minefields, but because there are other scenarios I'd like to build too. Like I want to do kind of like an amphibious assault and all that, but this is the first one I want to do just because it's going to be big, showy, flashy, missiles and aircraft everywhere. But all right, I know we didn't get much done today, but I think that's going to be it for today. I don't think there's much other miscellaneous stuff to edit. And as you've all seen, my mind is just an absolute train wreck right now, so. But don't worry, I'm going to, I'll probably make this the first episode I record this weekend. So that way we will for sure have our Chinese aircraft loaded in for the next episode. And then after that, I think we'll basically be forced to start making, I could burn another episode on coming up with like names and whatnot, but I don't think there's going to be a database update coming anytime soon. So we might just be at the point where we lock in and start modifying, like make the same modifications we made in the last scenario, like putting lasers on the cruisers and giving the new electronic warfare systems to the Burks and stuff, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's kind of the roadmap right now. So with that, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time and stay safe out there. And we'll see you then.